Captain Marty Matocha spends most of his time out on the water.
I fished 200 days last year.
Matocha runs a charter service out of Sabine Lake. He says last year he made 3 emergency distress calls to the Coast Guard.
My buddy was stuck out in a thunderstorm, and I had to dial 911 to get a hold of the Coast Guard.
Matocha says it takes valuable seconds for an emergency operator to reach the Coast Guard, and the Coast Guard agrees.
This is the application.
That's why it released an app earlier this week that features an emergency distress feature for boaters in trouble.
I believe the statistic I saw was 57% of people have a smartphone nowadays, and more, it's getting harder and harder to purchase a phone that is not a smartphone. So it's great that we are finally in the business of having an official Coast Guard application as another tool for the public in order to interact with the Coast Guard.
Adolfo Viezca works out of the Coast Guard's office in Port Arthur. He helped develop the emergency feature on the app.
I just downloaded it today. I did a quick test on it, and it worked perfectly. So far, so good.
Viezca says so far this year, 12 boaters have made distress calls in the Port Arthur area. Many times people call in without knowing their locations.
It really puts the individuals at a disadvantage, and it puts us as maritime search and rescue planners at a disadvantage because we are left with trying to find a needle in a haystack.
The app takes care of that by providing the location. It also features a boating safety checklist, weather updates, and a float plan that lets family and friends know the route you're taking. Matocha says he's downloading the app immediately because every second counts.
If I can cut that down, the response time down, it'll probably save lives.